All right, Jim, first time one for all of us.
Yes.
Out in Hobart, Tour of Terror in an old Nike missile base. What did you think?
Well, this was really an extremely pleasant surprise. I mean, I had heard sort of about the haunt in general, and wasn't sure quite how it would be pulled off, just in terms of an abandoned, basically, training facility, the old, barracks there. And I think this was a classic instance, and I'm sure my fellow reviewers will agree, an instance of less being more. The sets really spoke for themselves. I mean, they were, in essence, that stripped down sense worked in its favor. I mean, it allowed you to be immersed in the experience, and from one room to the next, it was very cleverly sequenced. So you might start outside, and you're in essence part of like a battle scene where you're being rushed to and from, and gunshots are being fired around your head. And then you're inside, and it's deathly quiet. There isn't a soundtrack being played. There isn't a lot of noise. And that eeriness, I think, was extremely unsettling, and it worked in its favor. I think that, like I say, that stripped-down interior, where you might see an old-time desk, an old-time lamp, an old-time phonograph, or an old-time radio, for all I can tell, those appear to be authentic period pieces, and really added to the, like I say, the chill factor. Overall, again, just a very, very unique experience, and in terms of value for for the money, again, just very, very well worth it. And I think ultimately this would be a 5 chainsaw rating for me.
All right. Okay, Laura, a brand new one, Tour of Terror in Hobart, Indiana. What did you think of this one?
This one, I mean, it's our first time going to it, and it's kind of like off by itself, a little creepy trying to get there, and especially when we play our Halloween music, it was just like, wow, it's a little creepy here. But that's nothing when you get into the actual haunt. That's creepy. This one is one of those few haunts. Most of the haunts I go in, I have a good time. I get a little creeped out here and there. There are a couple that I've had where it was creepy feeling in the atmosphere. This one, I felt like running through it and getting out. It was just the way it was set up and where it was at this military missile, right?
Nike missile base.
Yeah, a missile base. I mean, this haunt, I mean, it didn't have a whole lot of actors. It had actors, but it was more all about atmosphere and just the setting. It wasn't all sets. It was just the building, and where you were at was creepy enough. And I can't remember, I mean, the last time that I went through a haunt that I actually felt like running, trying to get out of there.
It was just last night. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
That's true. No, I felt that way last night. But this one, at least I was familiar with that haunt, and it just had the ultimate creepiness factor. But this one, I haven't been there, so I didn't know what to expect at all. And it just, the whole theme, it got a military theme, like you're really on a military base. I thought that was very well done, because they put you in the middle of the action. It feels like you're in the middle of a movie or something. It was something unique. I have to give this one, as far as unique, this one wins. But if you're out there, I'm not going to give away a lot of details. All I can say is it's creepy in there. And, very creepy. And I know it's our first time there, and I think it's our second year, right?
Yeah.
But this, I'm going to give it 5 chainsaws. It was excellent.
Tour of Terror. Now, this was brand new. Didn't know what this one was going to be all about. This is at an abandoned Nike missile base, a real missile base. That's not the backstory. It's not some phony backstory. You're not quite sure if you read their website. Some haunts come up with these backstories that it's not really true, and they have sets that sort of simulate. No, this is real. This is a real Nike missile base. And it's a combination of an indoor and outdoor haunt. It's a combination of a tour, if you will, hence the name, and points where you're left alone. And you actually go into this abandoned Nike missile base, the different buildings on the base. They're dank, dark, not well lit, clearly not used. Some windows are boarded up. They're made of concrete, so it's real concrete walls. They smell. They have the smell of decay about them. If that doesn't make an authentic haunt, I don't know what does. And this is a case of less is more. The sets are minimal. The actors are not many, but you don't need many, because the points where you're alone in this haunt are creepy. there are very, very interesting scenes where you walk in one room and you don't really know what's off to the left or the right. It's a sort of in shadow. You hear voices, you hear music, you see things out of the corner of your eye. It plays upon your senses. And then you go outside and you have guides that guide you, and they have weapons. They're paintball guns and air compressed air weapons. And they do mock battles, and all of a sudden you have to run and you have to get to different places and things. It's clever. I personally dislike haunts that put you in the middle of the action sometimes because it can be lame. The stories can be lame. They take too long. It's not very interesting. This one, I really got into the spirit of it, and not many haunts do that to me because I don't really like long stories. I like to get into the haunt and have the haunt speak for itself. Well, this was great, and they got me too. First gotcha of the year for me. We're walking down this trail, and some guy barked like a dog and growled. It came out of nowhere. I loved it. It was just great. Unique. I've never seen a haunt like this with a military theme all the way through it. This combination of indoor, outdoor, and sort of you're part of the action type of thing. I've never seen it quite done like this at all. And for uniqueness, I'm definitely giving it a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. Loved it.